Today we are here to commemorate the memory of a true legend among men. Robin Williams was a brilliant man who touched the lives of thousands of people. Whether it's through his family movies such as Hook, Aladdin, and Flubber, or his more dramatic films such as Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poets Society, and The Final Cut. He was born July 21st, 1995, and lived in Chicago, Illinois. He went to Claremont Men's College of Marine, and then transferred to Juilliard School in New York. He made a name for himself through stand-up comedy and performing in San Francisco and Los Angeles, and used his stand-up to branch off to other productions such as TV shows and movies. We are most familiar with Robin's great skills of improvisation and voice impersonations. He could take anything you gave him and run with it for miles and not stop. He could add little jokes and side notes into a script that just complemented the movie perfectly. Like the time in the Night of the Museum when he startled the night guard, Larry, played by Ben Stiller, when he was trying to figure out whether he'd turn back into a wax statue or not. He could change his voice into anything he wanted to with very little effort. Like the time he gave those voice impressions to the court liaison in Mrs. Doubtfire. But we also remember that Robin was a family man as well. He's married 3 times, divorced twice, and he has 3 children. His oldest, Zachary, from his first wife, and his 2 other children, Cody and Zelda, from the second. Though Robin's life was never easy, and he suffered from many hardships. He had a drug and alcohol addiction, which lasted for 2 decades. Then later, in the summer of 2006, he had a relapse and admitted himself into a rehab facility. Through his last legs of life, Robin suffered from depression and anxiety. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's, which affects the nervous system and motor control. He was then found dead in his California home August 11th, 2014. Cause of death is asphyxia due to hanging, and they found several cut marks on his left wrist. Robin's death was horrible and unexpected, and is a prime example of how depression hurts those closest to us. I would recommend to any of you suffering from depression or anxiety to confide in your loved ones before it gets to the point you can't stand it. It's never too late. Robin Williams was a true legend of his time and touched the lives of all our lives. Either through his comedy or his drama, we have all grown up watching his marvelous talents. One thing we can be sure of is we've never had a friend like him.